he got a plug with.
That's the one that his son.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got a plug with the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if we could set a table up.
Yes,
The Dricanhippie Show. Come on.
Yes,
what we doing?
I go every year.
You know the logo.
I don't
miss
miss
the logo.
it. So.
I got the Puerto Rican flag on the blunt wrap.
Yes.
Is the Puerto Rican flag, so I'm trying to make like headbands and wristbands. For, you
it.
know how all us Boricuas
Get it started because we ain't already in April, and we'll wear that. Shit, I be having my umbrella, my socks.
The Puerto Rican flag, pa?
All of it. All of the whistle. Whatever has a flag on it, we wearing it. Super proud.
I would tell you, so when I was younger, right? I guess this is the best word that I could use. I used to resent being Puerto Rican.
Yeah?
Right? I wasn't really into it as much as I should have.
What you thought, we were corny?
Not that. I guess maybe when I was younger. Damn, this fucked up that I was saying this shit because I think I got a topic about Steve Nash, and he said this exact thing. But he's white. Mm-hmm. But I used to think that I was black. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you are black.
Yeah, but not in that sense. Yeah, because we young and we not
right. You don't know the difference.
But yeah, because the environment that I grew up in. Like I had some, like I lived in a building that was predominantly Puerto Rican. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But your people were black.
Yeah, I had some Puerto Rican friends, like 2 or 3, Eddie and Manny. That's about it, right? But everybody else was Jamal, Corey, Tyrone, Frank, Joseph.
Mine too.
Tyrone, you know what I'm saying? So I was
Pumpkin,
just like,
Shaquille, and Talia.
Then you get to the Nick the Peanut, right? So I'm like,
That's true.
But for some reason, I never dated Spanish women. Like 2 relationships was probably with Spanish women. I never really was into like the music.
Okay.
I love the food. Of course, you know, you go to family, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that shit was popping.
But you adapt
the
more
Benny with the, you know what I'm saying? Arroz con gandules, right. So I was into that, you know what I'm saying? I think it was probably because I lost my grandmother at a young age. So that probably, like if I would have been around her a lot, I would have been more into my heritage, you know what I'm saying? But it took time for me. I think like in my 20s or something like that, I started being like, I want to start talking Spanish a little more. Then I started eating more Spanish food. Then, like, now, like, ever since I went to Puerto Rico and started going back and back, it's like, all right, this is more my speed.
Right.
You start to feel whatever that shit is. When you touch your motherland for real, you like,
that's something
different.
Shit.
Yeah, you feel the energy. You like, damn, you was tripping, nigga. Like,
I mean, but you didn't know. And the most familiar people were not your people, you know what I mean? They were around, but you know, you connected too, and that shows why even you connected.
You know what I'm saying? But like my uncles was like Spanish, but they was like New York Spanish,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like they was like that.
I had the same, and I was born and raised in the projects, so all my friends were mostly black, especially the ones that I could hang out with, you know, the ones that were with their moms outside, and
then
ones
even
that
school is like
they were more so.
They all.
I mean, I had some Spanish friends, but
like so. I had a couple Spanish friends, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to my son Louis, you know what I'm saying. I hope you good, my boy, you know what I'm saying. Respond to my text, my nigga. He Dominican, you know what I'm saying. That was like the first Dominican cat that I was chilling with, you know what I'm saying. He cool as shit. First cat that let me in his crib, you know, friend and all that type shit. But you know, like now it's more like I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like that's my moniker, D Rican. You know what I'm saying? So people like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
my best friend growing up in school was she is half Dominican and half Puerto Rican, and like her mom was very, you know, open, and you know, we go there and eat after school. So yeah, it was real comforting. Shout out to my friend Cynthia.
And then I remember my first, like, I think she was either Jamaican or Haitian, one of those two. I remember my first homegirl she was Jamaican and Haitian. Okay. And I went to the crib and tried their food. It was like, it's some fire.
I belong
don't
here.
like spicy too much, but like all the rice and all that shit, good, bro. Like,
I mean, it's similar because it's Caribbean,
it's
so so the
shit.
Taste, it's all that.
They'll be like, you never tried plantain? And I'll be like, platanos? You know what
I'm
saying? So
you're like, I know about that, but yeah, that's dope. My first boyfriend was black. I was 9. he came knocking on my door like, I'm Tina's boyfriend. My mom was like, no, you're her friend. He's like, no, I'm her boyfriend. Ask her.
No, we spoke about it already in the park.
Right, and Mom gave us lasagna that day, which was amazing. But you know, it's just growing up, I never felt separated. I never felt different. You know, they were my peoples. They were my family.
To think about like what was my first girlfriend and like, was she black?
Most likely.
Because I could go back and remember when I was like in daycare, there was like a little girl that I used to want to like nap time next to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you boys are different. Y'all thinking about that age. We're a little bit more.
But I think I was always attracted to like a black female. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like probably my first girlfriend probably was like a Spanish girl.
Okay. Even now, you more attracted.
Now I don't have as much a preference as before, but if I do, like let's say right now I'm single, and I'm talking to two people, you know what I'm saying? A Spanish girl or a black girl, I might lean still more towards the black girl, but if the Spanish girl is like hitting everything that I need, it's like you can't deny what's for you.
But your attraction more is to
like I used to say I would never talk to a white female, but I'd be like, she look alright.
Yeah.
But I don't fuck I don't fuck with the whites. You know? But that goes to like a represent and respect wherever you come from. You know what I'm saying? But that goes to a topic that I have written down. I gotta go get this book right here. But when it comes to like support for like a business or you know something in that vein, you know what I'm saying? Do you support just cause of race, or does quality of whatever product or whatever they's giving you has to matter as well? Or nah, I'm fucking with you because you Puerto Rican or because you black. Man, you black owned, I'm fucking with it.
I'm sorry,
but they not.
I'm that person.
Yeah, but let's say they not.
Oh, but if you not up there, if you don't
like persistent,
I wouldn't name the restaurant, but like this is nice restaurant in the neighborhood that I love to go to, and it's like maybe West Indian food.
Okay.
And it's it's delicious, but like the service, the people are like a little rude. Yeah. So it's like and you're like, damn, I want to come here, I want to support, especially that you're
independent,
you're black owned. It's like a small little restaurant, but it's like I can't. Like I'm waiting for 20 minutes for some water, or having to ask for utensils, or just like certain things is like, nah, I'm good. But yeah, I like first on, I'm like, you're black owned, yeah, I'll support this. Let's see what's going on.
I like to support as well, but like if the quality's not good and if you're not consistent, like if I'm hitting you up and you like, oh, I'm making orders or I'm doing whatever, it might turn me off. You know what I'm saying? Because I was having this conversation with somebody and they was, they in the same, I don't want to say they in the same predicament as me, you know what I'm saying? But we live the same sort of lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? But
respect my shit.
But you talking about buying like $10,000 jeans or some shit like that, right? Whatever the company is, let's just say it's Balenciaga or whatever. I can't remember what he was saying exactly, right? But he like, yeah, I want to give you some shit, but da da da. I'm like, bro, like, is it? Because then I showed him some independent clothing companies that I fuck with, you know what I'm saying? That I wear their shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why you just can't support this person? He like, but look, bro, it's like $90, $110, and I don't know, and you don't know them. That's the reason you're not doing it.
Right, because if everybody was promoting them and it was a trendy thing.
These sweats look similar to these sweats. No, he like, yeah, they kind of do, but these Jones got a little more. I'm like, yeah, they got a little more better material, cool. But it's because they beating niggas like you over the head. You about to drop $1,700 on that, right? And buy those sweats. I know you're going to wear them for like 3 straight months, bro, because you paid your rent for that.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
But it's the poor people who want to look rich, and the rich people who don't care if they look poor.
Yeah, I heard that too. But I think it's like the consistency is of what I was saying. Like, of course, they're a big brand. They're going to have it on deck all day, you know what I'm saying? Right. Because people buying it. Yeah. But if we put that same consistency into, like you saying, our people, we got to keep our dollar in our community. You know what I'm saying?
And our people are making some dope shit. Like, there's
right
some
now,
hot thing. Like, but that's the thing. It's also because of what's popping, what's popular, what's, on the market, what everybody's buying, what everybody's wearing, what they got to stand online for, what they got to request in and get an email back with. Listen, I ain't got time for that.
Raffles and shit, right?
Like, people don't have their own style.
For the same sneakers that you wore 3 times over in the last two decades. Like, you wore them, they put them out. Like, right now, I can't, like, I mean, it might seem like I'm contradicting myself because I got a pair on, right? But I don't fuck with Jordans. These, I already had them before I made the decision. I'm never buying Jordans again. I like Nike. I like Nike, but I don't really buy Nike no more. Now I'm doing Adidas, Reebok, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But I know a couple independent people that's making kicks too that I feel like, I might cop a pair because it look fire, you know what I'm saying? But them I could understand when you hit them and they be like, I'm out. Because it takes a lot to make a sneaker.
Different? Who don't want something that looks exclusive? Who don't want something that no one has? Like, when I was doing the Brighter Side clothing, like, it was like basically one of one. Because I made a whole bunch of different things. I sold and then people were like, I want this with this, or I want this with this, and everything was custom made. Like, I didn't just, some things I would make 2 and 3 and 4 of, but mostly it was when people made orders, because also I couldn't just make a lot of clothes because I was trying to sell it, to re-up basically. So a lot of the stuff was, a lot of the things were, one of one. So that, I like that too, but people just want the same of everything that everybody got. I was never that person anyway.
Yeah, so I think, especially in the period that we in right now, I hate, like, only because I got a $200 gift card. And I used it for this, I used it for certain shit for the podcast. I bought this chair, I bought these, I bought this.
Oh, that's nice.
And I bought something else, right?
Investing. Yes. It's important.
But it was because I got Wi-Fi from Verizon.
Okay.
And they gave me a $200 Amazon card.
Beautiful.
But I don't fuck with Amazon.
Okay.
Because they shut down small businesses.
Okay.
And I've been noticed that since the first time they came into fruition, the first time they was born.
Right.
I was like, they selling books online? They was like, yeah. And I used to like to go to Barnes and Nobles and shit like that.
Yeah. And
I'm like, damn, they're gonna shut down the physical stores because people are gonna be like, I could get it shipped to me.
That's it.
Just how fucking Netflix was when they first started. I was like, damn, they gonna shut down my favorite movie rental spot where I used to go get 3 Ninjas, Men in Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't stand the big corporation that shuts down the small business.
I'm with that too. I stopped shopping in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Like after, with the DEI and all that.
So like I like to go to the Barclays because I like to represent, like, my borough has a basketball team, but I remember what that part of downtown Brooklyn looked like. It used to be a lot of independent clothing stores, pizza shops, stores, like delis and shit like that.
Pops. Now there's a bunch of franchises.
They just moved all that shit and put a big ass stadium there and put a hockey team there, and we got white people pissing on the sidewalks.
And a bunch of franchise restaurants and shit things that we should not even be consuming.
I'm not mad at it because I know we live in a capitalistic society in a country that's capitalistic, you know what I'm saying? Which that's gonna be our next topic, this tariff war that we in, you know what I'm saying? Like, now it's a fucking tariff war. Like,
and you from the last time, I don't even want to talk about this. Because I had some shit. Didn't I say though?
We got these dumbass people.